Breaking the age barrier. The truth about relationships with older women and younger men. Age gap relationships where an older woman has a much younger male partner have gained significant media attention in recent years. Remember how big the news was when Demi Moore married Ashton Kutcher, who was 15 years her junior? Or the international media obsession with French President Emmanuel Macron's relationship with his spouse Brigitte, who is 24 years older than him? More recently, perhaps you've heard the buzz about the TV series MILF Manor, where a group of 40 and 50-something women participate in a reality dating show with younger male contestants. Although it's worth noting that much of the attention MILF Manor received wasn't necessarily due to the age gap, but because the women would be dating each other's sons, something Freud would have had a field day analyzing. However, there seems to be a double standard when it comes to age gap relationships based on the gender of the older partner, with less scrutiny typically applied to relationships where the man is significantly older than the woman. Leonardo DiCaprio notwithstanding, disapproval seems to be reserved primarily for the female partner in woman-older relationships. While older women are often labeled as cougars, implying a predatory nature, there are no derogatory labels for the younger men who enter these relationships. This bias against woman-older age gap relationships is one reason why they are relatively rare. In the United States, only 1.3% of marriages between a man and a woman include a woman who is 10 or more years older than her husband, according to census data. Being in a marginalized relationship can take a toll on couples. When society and the important people in our lives don't accept our relationships, the rejection and lack of social support can stress the relationship. So what does research tell us about the quality of relationships where the woman is significantly older than her male partner? To find out, I conducted a survey of around 200 heterosexual women in relationships. The survey participants were roughly divided between those who were significantly older than their male partners, an average of 22 years older, those who were significantly younger than their partners, an average of 17 years younger, and those who were similar in age to their partners, an average of 3 years difference. What I discovered was that women who were 10 or more years older than their partners were actually the most satisfied with and committed to their relationships, compared to women who were younger than their partners or close in age. In other words, despite the stigma associated with older women dating younger men, the women in these relationships were, on average, thriving. So why were the older women more content? There are a few possibilities. For example, perhaps the power dynamic shifts towards greater equality when the woman is older. Research has shown that greater equality tends to make couples happier, so maybe this arrangement is simply more equitable. Alternatively, it could be less about equality and more about placing women in a more dominant position. We know that many men are attracted to the idea of submitting to a dominant, powerful woman, and they tend to see older women as having those characteristics. This is a big part of why MILF-themed porn is so popular. Perhaps it is a feeling of empowerment that ultimately underlies the greater satisfaction of older women, and that empowerment allows women to get more of what they want, sexually and otherwise. In summary, these results suggest that while age gap relationships featuring an older woman and a younger man may face significant social resistance, this does not necessarily prevent them from developing strong, highly satisfying relationships.